Hello, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel again, and thank you very much for all the support that you guys been watching my videos and suggesting. Right now, we have over 21 subscriber. We have over 400 views on combined to all of our videos within 2 weeks. I would say it is a great accomplishment, right? I am not doing it in terms of, well, eventually I'll make money, but I'm not doing it at the beginning because I'm gonna make money right now. I'm doing it because maybe, hopefully, one day I might make little bit money. This is totally pure out of passion, and I kind of want to share my own journey, just like all of you, right? Everybody is on a journey to financial freedom, or want to invest money, or some forms of be an investor. And I am just simply trying to basically share my knowledge and my passion, whatever I have learned so far. So let's get started. Today's topic is book. I know this is might be the most boring subject for most of you. Just hear me out. These books that I'm about to suggest to you guys, they are, yes, they are boring, but they are not meant to give you instant pleasure per se. They are meant to basically be an eye opener. Let's say you're an beginner investor, right? Not everybody is an expert on every single subject. Some people just simply know more because they've been researching, and some people don't know. And those of you who might be new and do not know anything in investing, or never thought of in finance and how they affect you, right? There are about, at minimum, three books that I would recommend that I got it started. I bought these book a while back, and 3 4 years ago at minimum, I think. They are all in my Audible. I am very lazy reader. I do not like to read. However, one hack that I did found was to use the Audible. So the book reads for me, and it kind of works perfect. And that has allowed me to read a lot of books over the years. So let's get started. My first book that I recommend for all of you guys, if you have never read, is to either grab a copy of I mean paperback, right? That you can turn, and if you are lazy like me, you can get the Audible. Pretty sure you can maybe go and get YouTube version of free, or some summary version, but really listen to what Robert Kiyosaki has to say in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. This is essentially the book that will change many of your life, or how you think, right? He basically has four different quadrants, where he basically explains to you what the colleges are doing, what how we think. Like, we become E, it stands for an employee, and after we are an employee of whatever our profession might be, then we go become maybe small business owner, and eventually, basically, we hopefully we might think of big business, and become, his goal is everybody to become an investor. He have very good compelling reason why you should look at the B and I quadrant, big business and investor. And his book makes a great argument that basically is the incomes that you earn, and the keeping, and in what quadrant do you potentially want to be in, because it will impact your lifestyle that you want to have for your future, right? The only reason probably you're watching my YouTube channel is because you most likely have not achieved your lifestyle that you want, and in order for you to achieve, you are trying to educate yourself, right? Just like myself, I have not achieved my own lifestyle, therefore I am continuing searching for the knowledge and I am continuing educating myself. So yes, I would highly recommend Rich Dad and Poor Dad. The next book that I recommend is going to be Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, Grover Gardner, etc. I think, yeah, this one right here. It looks funky, but this one basically there was a person who was is set up in Babylon, a very old city, right? It's fictional, but um, in terms of how he became the richest man in that entire city, and that man was the poorest man actually. In fact, he was a slave, and it's a really old book. It just shows you the power of becoming financial independent and your own personal wealth management. And hopefully it's a story, so those of you who like to listen to stories, this is a great book in that. So definitely read this, because this is actually, we have something in common, right? We are all have become basically, I don't want to say the word and not be meaningful, because I'm not trying to compare African Americans for slavery, but we have become basically slavery to man, right? That because we have all have debt and we all have to work. So that the next book that is very important is called The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. His book is very relevant to today's, or how we invest and how we look at markets, right? He was one of the best basically stock picker manager that he actually started Vanguard, I believe, and he goes through his experience and his lesson learned and how you should be investing in stock or bonds or ETF. He mainly talks about putting your money in ETF and the lowest cost possible, and he has a lot of great insight in terms of what you should be thinking of. There are many other books, obviously, like for example, if you look at the Robert Kiyosaki Guide to Investing, Cash Flow Quadrant. Right now, I'm actually reading Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert. Most of Robert Kiyosaki books are very interesting to read. The only problem is I hate his advertisement that he wants people to sign up for his cash flow game, Monopoly game. It's kind of annoying, but outside of that, they're very good, informative books. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is also very interesting books, because everything you have to start with thought process, right? You have never seen somebody mentally disturbed become a millionaire over time. You have to be right in your own mindset. These are just, after you read those three books, Rich Man and Investing and Babylon, then you might want to think of these books eventually. um, Dave Ramsey's book is very interesting book, because what he talks about is getting people out of debt. His actually method is, in a way, actually works, because I was in a debt. I am still in debt, but I've been able to pay off a lot of my debt, and I started to look at his conservative views and what he has to say. But I find his YouTube channel to be a lot more informative than this actual book, honestly. But yes, you should still look into it. Compounding Fact, I have not read it. The 10 Times Rule, this is very interesting book. The Millionaire Next Door is very interesting book. This one, the Increase Your Financial IQ, I think I bought it, but I just haven't started yet. Eventually, oh, this book, How to Win Friends, Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Very interesting book in terms of, this is not a investment per se, but this is more like a self-help, personal type of book. This helps you to really understand how to make friends, and we are a social creature, right? We all have to get help. We are not self-reliant on everything. we have to work together. And how do you ask for help and how do you influence people so that they can you get the result in your own favor. So very interesting book. 4 hour week. I actually bought it, started, never finished it. I just bought this one. 5 second rule. I I kind of find it very unique because you just think about 5 second, make a rule for somebody who has problem with, I guess, making decision. This is an interesting way to look at. I have not had this one. I also bought this rental property because, believe it or not, after you start investing, I mean, not investing in, if you start looking a lot of real estate or investing, or you go, everybody recommends you to do alternative investment, which is your real estate, and then obviously you want to know everything about real estate. Um, this one is by Brandon Turner. Very interesting book, but you can get a lot of these information by on their YouTube by going to Bigger Pocket, or you can go to the website itself. So, but if you wanted to just listen to all at once, you are good place. I've not gotten this one yet, but yeah, these are some of just three, and then after that you can basically branch out. But if you still stay in that category, the what's called the suggestion will be, you'll find very interesting, and I'll share my my update again, maybe books that I think that you must or highly recommend that for you guys to read. All right, guys, that's all I have for this YouTube video. Stay tuned for the next one, and thank you very much for subscribing. As always, I really appreciate your help in watching my YouTube video and becoming part of my audience. I never had audience before, so it's kind of cool to see people actually wanting to hear what I have to say. And thank you very much.